All right, what's up, second grade? How are we doing today? We've got a pretty important day ahead of us. A lot of review today, just making sure that we understand some really important fundamental things so that way we can move into the rest of the year and be successful. So your I can statements for today: I can clap familiar rhythms, I can hear a rhythm and successfully write it down, I can use and apply the time signature, and I can create my own rhythms and clap them. It's a lot today, but they're all kind of related to each other, so it's just different sides of the same coin, so don't feel like this is going to be too much right away. There are some things that you might want to spend a little bit of time on just to digest correctly, but I think we'll be okay. So the very first thing I want to introduce you to is, my friend, the time signature, which are these two numbers that are stacked on top of each other right here. We see them in music a lot. They look kind of like fractions if you know about those in math, but they're not fractions. They actually tell a musician a lot of things. So what we see is the top number. The top number tells us how many beats are in each measure of music. A measure is just an easy way to separate music so that we can look at it and say, instead of counting note by note, like, hey, I need you to play note 347 again, you can say, hey, can you play measure 12? So that makes it a little easier for us to track through things and find things, and that's really why we have the system. The bottom number is a little bit weird, and the only number that you really need to know about right now is the bottom number of 4. And what the bottom number of 4 tells you is that a quarter note, like I have here, is worth 1 beat. This is what we do most frequently in music, so this should be nothing new. We're just putting a name to it now. So this time signature, 4-4, which is the one that we're going to use a lot today, is telling me that there is 4 beats per measure and that there are quarter notes receiving 1 beat of value. And that's not too bad. And you'll kind of get it as we start applying it a little bit, so don't be surprised if you're a little fuzzy still, but we'll continue to refine our understanding. So let's get started. So the very first thing I need you to do is to grab a couple supplies, and right after I'm done explaining this is probably a good place to pause the video real fast just to get your stuff, so that way you're good to go. So you don't need a partner for right now. Sorry, I forgot to delete that. But anyway, grab a bunch of popsicle sticks. You probably want about 20 of them to start with, maybe a few more than that. You don't need like 1,000 or anything. And then you're going to need at least 4 pieces of paper. You might even want to grab 8 if we start getting a little more advanced at some point. So that's up to you. That's your call. If you don't have popsicle sticks at home, a really simple thing that you can do is to take a piece of paper, and I'm going to do it really fast just to show you how quickly it can be done. Grab a piece of paper and draw 4 boxes, like I just did right here if you're looking down in my video right there. And then those boxes will serve as kind of my paper, and then I can really simply draw inside of the boxes the rhythms that we're going to do today by using something similar to what the popsicle sticks will look like, but it's just a little bit different. So that's your choice, whatever works easier for you. I think it's a little easier with popsicle sticks just because you can turn them over quicker, clear it out if you make a mistake. Make sure if you are using a pencil and paper that you are actually using a pencil. Don't have a marker or a pen. You want something that you can erase in case you make a mistake along the way. So once you have that done, I need you to take one of your 4 pieces of paper, and go ahead and draw me a 4-4 time signature on the left side of that one piece of paper, kind of like I did here. Okay? So that's on one single piece of paper, we're drawing a 4-4, and that's going to serve as our time signature page. Give you a second to do that, and then moving on. So when we use the time signature, we always put that one first, because time signatures most often occur at the start of a piece of music. They can also occur in the middle, but we're not there yet, so don't worry about that. But we always want that on the left side, so that way we know where the first one is that we're using. And then I'm going to take my 3 other pieces of paper, and I'm going to just line them up all together. And then if you count really fast, how many boxes do I have? And you probably are thinking 4, and that would be correct. And that's why we have the time signature there. 4 boxes because our time signature says 4-4. So now each box is going to represent a beat for us, and as we add our rhythms in there, we're going to start seeing how many beats each note takes up. And that makes it a little more visual for us and makes it a little easier to understand. So let's give it a try. So let's learn how to do these things. So the very first thing that you need to do is learn how to do a quarter note, the note that we call ta sometimes when we clap it. And all you're going to do is have one popsicle stick standing up straight. And if you look at the quarter note, the ta, if you get rid of the note head, that's kind of what it looks like, right? And that's the reason why we do this. So we get rid of the note head, because we don't need the note head to do this right now. And this is just a quick, easy way to show it, and then we can kind of go from there. I do want to practice real fast, though, just in case we're not sure. So remember, when we see ta, we're just going to go ta, right? One clap, and then you say the word ta. So let's do 3 of them in a row. 1, 2, ready, go. Ta, ta, ta. Easy, right? I thought so. So let's make it a little harder. This is a note that you should be familiar with as well. It's really 2 notes, but the ta-ti, or 8th notes, you might know it as TT, and that's fine. If you want to continue to use TT, that is totally okay. Just know that I'm always going to use it as ta-ti. So when we see these, we're going to go twice as fast as we did on the tas, because ta-tis are worth less value, so they need to move a little quicker. So it's going to go like this. Listen first, echo back. 1, 2, here we go. Ta-ti, 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 ta-ti. Your turn, ready, go. Ta-ti, 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 ta-ti. Yeah, so that's not too hard. It's just a little bit faster. Let's try a different one. Listen, and then echo me. I'm going to do a different rhythm for you this time. 1, 2, listen first. Ta, ta-ti, ta-ti, ta. Your turn, ready, go. Ta, ta-ti, ta-ti, ta. Yeah, okay, so that sounded pretty good, I hope. So that's not too hard. So remember, tas just are half the value of a tati, or twice the value of a tati. So they're going to move a little bit slower, where tatis are going to be faster. And you'll see it as you get to practice a little bit. The last thing I want to introduce you to today is the rest. And if you look at the rest really fast, this is actually kind of hard to draw if you want to draw it really accurately. It takes a lot of time. So even when we handwrite it, we tend to just make a little Z out of our shape. And so we're going to do the same thing with our popsicle sticks. So you're going to grab 3 anytime you think about a rest, and you're just going to make them in the shape of a Z. And when we see rest, it's very easy. We just go rest. We pull our hands apart to show that we don't make a sound, and then we just whisper the word rest. If you don't whisper, that's okay, I promise. So let's try a really easy rhythm to start with. So this one is pretty easy. If you look at it really fast, it looks like the word Izzy, like somebody's name, right? But actually, what I have is ta, rest, rest, ta. Remember that the paper that you wrote on with the time signature, the 4-4 right there, is always going to be your first one in our examples, right? So then we're going to go across and we're going to clap this rhythm. So I'll do it first, okay? And then you can join me. 1, 2, me first. Ta, rest, rest, ta. Your turn, ready, go. Ta, rest, rest, ta. Good. Okay, not bad. And this is kind of a palindrome, because if you think about it, if you do it backwards, it's the exact same way, forward and backwards. Let's try this 2 times total. So you're going to do ta, rest, rest, ta. Then you're going to go back to the beginning again and do it one more time. Try to keep that steady beat moving the whole time, and we will see what happens. Let's do this one together. 1, 2, here we go. Ta, rest, rest, ta, ta, rest, rest, ta. Yeah, awesome job. Very cool. Hopefully you got through that one without any issues. Part of your assignment today, and it's not graded before you freak out, but part of your assignment is just thinking about how you did. So when you did that example, were you able to clap it successfully with me? And if so, that's awesome. If not, you might want to pause the video right now, take some time and practice it, or rewind a little bit and listen to me do it one more time as you follow along to help you out. That's your choice how you want to handle it. If you think you're ready to move on though, then just go for it. So this rhythm is a little more challenging. So I see ta-tis to start with, and then the ta, and then ta-ti, ta. So let's try these together. I'll go first, you echo me. 1, 2, me first. Ta-ti-ta, ta-ti-ta. Your turn, ready, go. Ta-ti-ta, ta-ti-ta. Yeah, pretty simple, right? Let's try it one more time. We're going to go a little bit faster this time. 1, 2, 1, 2. Here we go. Ta-ti-ta, ta-ti-ta. How'd you do? I hope you did pretty well. So that should be not too hard. And now we've seen the 3 notes that we've really, or 2 notes and a rest, that we are going to work with to start with. And so that gives us a pretty good idea. So now I want to try a harder example right here. And you don't need to write this down or anything. It's on the screen for you. So let's take a look. This one is longer, and if you notice I separated it. So I have my first set of 4 boxes. And then I made a new line, and I made up another set. And we're going to do this all together. So I see ta-ti-ta, rest, ta, ta-ti-ta. Okay? So not anything too hard. It's a little longer, though, so you might want to take a few seconds and really look at it. So if you want to pause the video and go ahead so you can get a couple practice runs in, let's try it together. 1, 2, here we go. Ta-ti-ta, rest, ta, ta-ti-ta-ti-ta. How'd you do? Hopefully pretty good. Again, that's not hard, it's just longer, so it might present a little more of a challenge for you. And don't be surprised if it takes you a couple of attempts to do it. I've been doing this for a long time, and I definitely messed up a video when I did these with 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade. So it's okay. It's okay if you make a mistake, I promise, because you have way less time than I do, and I still make mistakes all the time. So if you made a mistake, just try again, because that's the whole point, is just practice, right? Practice till you get good. So we have a note that is probably new to you guys, but I want to introduce it today at least, which is the half note. And if you look at a half note, it's a little different than a quarter note because the note head is not colored in. It's always empty, and this note is performed as ta-ah. So you clap your hands and then you hold them together and you bring them down to show that the ta-ah is a little longer. How many beats is that? Ta. How many different sounds am I making? Ta is 1 and then the ah is 2, right? So ta-ah is a note that's worth 2 beats. So what do you think we should do when we're dealing with ta-ah? Think about it real fast, and I'll give you an answer in a second. I'm wondering what people are going to come up with. So when we do a ta-ah, we actually want it to be a single popsicle stick on a single piece of paper to start with, and then we're going to take another popsicle stick and we're going to turn it sideways so that way it takes up a second piece of paper, and then we're good to go. Some people like to do 2 popsicle sticks right in a row, but I'm not a super huge fan of that when we're doing paper right now, just because I feel like it doesn't show that it's taking up more space than what it normally does. We know ta is only 1 beat, but ta-ah being 2 beats, we want that horizontal one to show that it just takes up a little bit more space. So don't be surprised if you thought that, but then telling you why it's different. That should be something that we should try to do in the future and make sure that it happens. So we've got a pretty easy rhythm right now. If you take a look at this one, I see ta-ah and then a rest and then a ta. So think about it real quick. I'm going to do it first and then you echo me, okay? Me first. 1, 2. Ready, go. Ta, rest, ta. Your turn. 2, ready, go. Ta, rest, ta. Not too hard, right? So what I want you to do, if you need a little more practice on some ta rhythms, go ahead and pause this real fast. Run that a couple more times, or if you didn't quite get it and you need to rewind the video, please do, so that way you make sure that you are a ta master. Went ahead, so hopefully you weren't paying attention. So, we have an easy rhythm to start with, and this time I am going to ask you to write down the answer based on what you hear. So this is going to be the first rhythm. I'm going to play it. I'm going to do it a few times for you. I'll do it 3 times, and I want you to try to write down an answer on your boxes, okay? So here we go. Me first. 1, 2, ready, go. Ta, ta, ta. Go ahead and put down some popsicle sticks if you think you got an answer. If you're not quite done, that's okay. You got a few more times to listen to it. Let's try again. Here we go. Round 2. 1, 2. Ready, go. Ta, ta, ta. Very cool. Hopefully by now with those 2 attempts you have the answer down that you think is correct. The third time is meant to check. If you're not quite there, it's okay to either pause the video right now or rewind and listen to me do it to start with, so that way you have a chance to really catch up. So that's the one nice thing about having these videos, is you can just learn it at your own pace. If you're not quite sure, try again, you know? So here we go, last time. 1, 2, ready, go. Ta, ta, ta. So, how'd you do? How do you think you did? So what did you hear? Hopefully you have a solution that uses exactly 4 boxes. As I promise you, I'm not trying to mess with you with that. Our examples will only use 4 boxes unless I tell you. So let's see if you got it right. So there's your first example. You should have ta, ta, ta. Right? Hopefully you got that. Ta, ta, ta. If not, think about what got you backwards. Was it the ta-ah? Did you mess up with the ta-ta? Did you mishear something? You know, so there could be a bunch of reasons. Try to think about what got you wrong, if it caught you off guard and you did something wrong there. That way we can reflect on how we're doing on this. So we've got one more for you, and I promise I won't go ahead on accident this time. All right, so here's your next example. Listen very closely, and let's try it. Make sure you clear off your papers too, so that way you are ready to go. All right, here we go. First attempt, you'll get 4 this time. 1, 2, ready, go. Ta-ti, ta-ti, ta. All right, try again. 1, 2, here we go. Ta-ti, ta-ti, ta. Very cool. And third time, here we go. Ready, 2, and here we go. Ta-ti, ta-ti, ta. Yeah, not too bad. So hopefully by now you've got an answer that you're happy with, and you're going to use this last time to check. If not, again, rewind the video or pause right here, so that way you have a chance to check the answer. And then here we go. Here's our last time. 1, 2, here we go. Ta-ti, ta-ti, ta. Give you a moment just to finish putting anything down or making any adjustments you need to do, and then let's take a look at the answer. Hopefully you have something set up like this. Ta-ti, ta-ti, ta. And if you got that correct, then you are in good shape. Very nice, friends. So, there are a couple things that you need to do on your own to start with. So I want you to take some time and practice. So just do it on your own. Try creating rhythms that have a variety of those different rhythms in them. Try the rest. Try ta, ta-ah, ta-ti. Try to create and perform at least 3 or 4 different rhythms, so that way you're getting some practice in there and just reminds you. Remember, when you're doing this, first thing you do is make the rhythm, and then afterwards clap it. If you want to involve some other people in it, you can find a sibling if you have a sibling in the house, or find an adult in the house and see if you can teach your sibling or adult person who you chose to help you out. See if you guys can stump each other. I mean, that's a great way to do it. You know, and just trying to make these a little harder or easier, and you'll be good to go. So see how hard you can make it when you're working on your own too. And if you choose to add boxes, some of you are a little more advanced, which I'm sure some of you can add more, don't be afraid to add boxes, but I would add boxes in sets of 4. So that way we're starting 4 and then 8 boxes, maybe go to 12 or 16 if you want something really challenging. Try to see how big you can make it. And my super challenge question for you is, can you make one that is too hard for you to clap? You can't get it right. Even after several times practicing and stuff, is it still too much? Or could you stump your partner with something that was too challenging? So those are things to think about. So on your own, and this is part of the Google Classroom assignment, is there is a Google Drawing document right there with 2 questions in it. The first question is just asking you to reflect on how you did on the examples that we did together and how did you do on them. Just be honest about it. Hey, I got them for the most part, or ooh, I was really bad at them. I need a little more practice. That's fine. That's just so that I know where you are. And then this example that you see right here, I'm not going to give you the answer to. Where you have part of it up here, but I'm going to clap it and I want you guys to write it down. In the Google Drawing assignment portion of it, you can either copy and paste my symbols, which will be on the bottom right hand side, and put them into the boxes, or you can use the scribble tool and just draw whatever things sit in the boxes. Again, I promise it takes exactly 8 boxes. I've given you the correct answer in 3 of those boxes, so you just got to fill in the middle for me. Okay? So let's give it a try. I'm going to play this one. I'll clap this one 4 times for you, and then, well, I think we're just about done. So here we go. Here's our first attempt on this one. 1, 2, here we go. Ta, ta, ta-ti, ta, ta-ti, west. Time number 2. Here we go. 1, 2, here we go. Ta, ta, ta-ti, ta, ta-ti, west. Third time coming up. I'll give you a moment to finish doing whatever you're doing. 1, 2, here we go. Ta, ta, ta-ti, ta, ta-ti, west. Good job. This would be a great time to pause the video right now if you need to take a few moments and finish up your answer, or if you'd like to go back again and hear those examples a few more times before we get to the last time. And here's our final example. Hopefully by now you've got everything finished and you're just checking your answer. 1, 2, here we go. Ta, ta, ta-ti, ta, ta-ti, rest. Very cool. So get that answer filled out in the Google Drawing, please, and then submit that assignment for me. And again, don't freak about this. This is not graded. This is just to see if you are capable of doing this on your own, so I know if I need to move a little faster or a little slower. So thanks, guys. Nice job today. And we've reached the finish line for the day, so make sure you try that practice session on your own or with a partner if you choose, and please just do the assignment and then you are good to go for the week. Hope you have a great rest of your week, and I will see you later.